Some ingredients deteriorate quicker than campaign pledges, while others possess an almost supernatural capacity to remain shelf-stable for years, occasionally even generations, maintaining their original quality. Whether you're preparing for severe weather, economic uncertainty, or simply despise last-second supermarket dashes, strategic planning is essential. These provisions can withstand extended periods. Believe me, you'll appreciate having them stored when circumstances demand it. We've organized them from practical to absolutely legendary. Entry number 20 represents an excellent option, but number 1? Total game changer. Let's dive in. 20. White rice, the eternal grain. Affordable, adaptable, and when preserved correctly, this staple can remain viable for 3 decades or beyond. That's not hyperbole. Archaeological evidence supports this claim remarkably well. Within ancient burial chambers, researchers have unearthed rice specimens that remain completely consumable after millennia of storage. What makes this possible? The processing of white rice eliminates the natural oils responsible for decomposition. This creates an extraordinarily extended preservation period when maintained in sealed storage systems using oxygen-eliminating packets, such as specialized mylar pouches or certified food-grade containers. Maintaining these conditions guarantees your rice reserves will outlive numerous emergency preparedness strategies. Beyond longevity, white rice offers remarkable portability, concentrated caloric value, and remarkable culinary flexibility. From Asian-inspired dishes to emergency sustenance preparations, it adapts effortlessly. Throughout history, during virtually any catastrophe, armed conflicts, agricultural failures, or distribution system collapses, rice has consistently served as a fundamental food source. The importance of rice during emergencies extends beyond mere nutrition. It frequently becomes a valuable commodity for exchange when standard economic systems falter. Communities recognize rice's value, making it tradable currency. Consider it nutritional gold in crisis situations. Storage recommendations? Use food-grade buckets with Gamma Seal lids, add oxygen absorbers, and maintain storage in temperature-controlled, humidity-free environments. Rotate your stock every few years, though honestly, it'll probably outlast your grandchildren. 19. Canned vegetables. Humble heroes in metal jackets. Let's address reality directly. Preserved vegetables won't receive standing ovations from culinary enthusiasts. They probably won't become your preferred evening meal components. However, during emergencies, when customary fresh produce becomes unavailable, a container of string beans transforms into something genuinely appreciated. Surprising, isn't it? These preserved vegetables function as hermetically sealed preservation capsules. The preservation method incorporates vacuum sealing technology and frequently involves thermal processing directly within the container, ensuring sterilization and preservation from manufacturing. When maintained in temperature-controlled, humidity-free environments, these nutritional powerhouses remain consumable for 5 to 10 years, occasionally extending beyond that time frame. Here's an additional advantage. These preserved vegetables contain liquid content, transforming them into valuable hydration resources during emergencies when potable water becomes scarce. The benefits extend beyond vitamin and mineral intake. Canned vegetables contribute to hydration maintenance when standard water sources become compromised. Regarding nutritional content, these preserved greens deliver dietary fiber, antioxidants, and critical nutrients. Granted, texture may not match freshly harvested produce, but the nutritional concentration remains impressive. Their unpretentious appearance conceals their history of sustaining populations through challenging periods for generations. For a dependable, quick-access, nutrient-concentrated food source with years of viability, accumulate substantial quantities of canned vegetables. They'll maintain fullness and strengthen your preparedness strategy. Pro tip: prioritize low-sodium varieties when available, and inspect cans regularly for damage, rust, or bulging. These indicate spoilage. 18. Honey, nature's immortal sweetener. Prepare for a mind-bending revelation. Archaeological teams uncovered 3,000-year-old honey specimens in Egyptian burial sites. The remarkable part? They remained perfectly consumable. This isn't marketing manipulation or promotional exaggeration. This demonstrates the extraordinary properties of raw honey. The substance essentially transcends temporal limitations. Why does honey achieve eternal preservation? The explanation is straightforward. Its minimal moisture concentration and elevated acidity create an impenetrable barrier against bacterial proliferation. Without bacterial activity, decomposition cannot occur. Provided you maintain storage in sealed glass containers, that honey jar can remain undisturbed for decades, potentially centuries. Honey transcends being merely a sweet addition to breakfast items. It functions as a natural antimicrobial agent, utilized across centuries for combating infections. It soothes irritated throat tissue, facilitates wound recovery, and supports digestive processes. During emergencies, it could mean the difference between a challenging day and one that's marginally more tolerable. Should crystallization occur, don't panic. Gentle warming restores fluidity. You can survive on grain and legume combinations, certainly, but honey makes everything considerably more palatable. It adds calories, provides instant energy, and offers that touch of sweetness that reminds you civilization still exists somewhere. Beyond consumption, honey serves as a natural preservative, wound dressing, and even trading commodity. A single jar offers multiple survival applications, making it worth its weight in gold when resources become scarce. 17. Ramen noodles, the budget warrior's secret weapon. Instant noodles, yes, that university dietary staple, the meal choice during financial constraints and midnight study sessions, also secretly ranks among the superior survival provisions for long-term accumulation. Those hermetically sealed packages containing noodles and seasoning possess a surprisingly extended preservation period. We're discussing up to 10 years when maintained in temperature-controlled, humidity-free locations. That represents a decade of reserve carbohydrate supplies. Dependability doesn't get much better than that. Let's acknowledge reality. Instant noodles won't capture any nutritional excellence awards. However, in survival circumstances, caloric intake becomes paramount. Instant noodles deliver substantial quantities, providing rapid, economical energy with minimal preparation requirements. Simply heat water, stir, and consume. What creates this longevity? The minimal moisture content combined with hermetic packaging. These dual elements protect against bacterial contamination and decomposition. Here's professional guidance. Avoid foam container versions. They'll deteriorate more rapidly. Choose brick-style packages instead, and maintain storage in airtight containers to protect them from humidity and infestations. Consider upgrading your ramen game. Add dried vegetables, powdered eggs, or canned meat to boost nutritional value. A package of noodles transforms from survival rations into an actual meal with minimal additions. Stock various flavors to combat taste fatigue. Trust me, eating chicken-flavored ramen for 30 consecutive days will test your sanity. 16. White vinegar, the ultimate versatile product. White vinegar genuinely deserves recognition as the ultimate versatile product. It transcends being merely a cooking component. It's a cleaning powerhouse, natural preservation agent, and perhaps most surprisingly of all, it literally never deteriorates. Honestly, whether you purchased it recently or years ago makes no difference. Vinegar remains vinegar. Thanks to its acidic composition, it's self-preserving. It won't spoil, it won't develop mold, and flavor remains constant over time. Need to preserve vegetables through pickling? Accomplished. Need to sanitize surfaces following cooking disasters? Accomplished. Want to tenderize protein for upcoming soup? Or address an annoying insect sting? Double accomplished. Vinegar provides solutions. The optimal aspect? Vinegar remains economical and space efficient. Several gallon containers can serve you for years across numerous applications. Refrigeration isn't necessary. Simply maintain storage in temperature-controlled, dark locations away from direct sunlight, and you're prepared. Additional applications include weed killer, fabric softener, deodorizer, glass cleaner, and even meat preservative. During emergencies, having multiple use items becomes invaluable. Vinegar offers exactly that versatility. Consider storing both white and apple cider varieties for maximum flexibility. 15. Lentils, the unsung survival champions. Lentils may lack the prestige and recognition of other nutritional powerhouses, but don't underestimate them. These small legumes frequently receive insufficient attention, but they represent a preparedness enthusiast's ideal food. When preserved properly, dried lentils remain viable for up to 30 years without compromising nutritional content. Correct, 30 years of preservation capacity, refrigeration unnecessary. That's essentially eternal sustenance. However, longevity isn't their sole advantage. Lentils provide incredible protein concentrations, dietary fiber, iron content, and complex carbohydrate structures, establishing them as absolute nutritional dynamos. They require less cooking time than alternative legumes, and they demonstrate remarkable versatility. Transform them into soups, stews, veggie burgers, and even savory baked preparations. If you're seeking plant-derived protein that won't decompose, lentils represent an exceptional discovery. If you're concerned about blandness, well, certainly independently they might not capture flavor competitions, but lentils absorb seasonings like sponges. Incorporate various spices, tomato concentrate, or broth, and you've created a substantial, satisfying meal with minimal effort. Varieties matter too. Red lentils cook fastest, green and brown varieties hold shape better in soups, and black lentils offer the most striking appearance. Stock multiple varieties for culinary diversity. Lentils also sprout easily, providing fresh greens during emergencies when vegetables become unavailable. 14. Powdered milk. Dairy without the dairy dilemma. It may lack the prestige of alternative pantry essentials, but powdered milk becomes mandatory for long-duration storage. The rationale: it provides all advantages of regular dairy, calcium, protein, and vitamins, without decomposition risks. When preserved properly, non-fat dry milk remains viable for up to 20 years or beyond. That's not marketing embellishment. Research confirms it maintains safety and nutritional viability for decades, provided temperature-controlled, humidity-free storage. Rehydrate it, and you've obtained milk for your coffee, cereal, or baking requirements. Does it precisely match fresh dairy? Not exactly, but during emergencies, nutrients and calories matter more than taste preferences. Powdered milk delivers both. Additionally, it's an ingredient applicable to baked preparations, pancakes, and sauces, creating remarkable versatility. After opening, seal it in mylar pouches or airtight containers with oxygen absorbers to extend preservation even further. It's discreetly essential. Consider this: without powdered milk, how will you make creamy soups, mashed potatoes, or even homemade bread? It's the unsung hero of baking and comfort food preparation. Choose non-fat varieties for maximum shelf life. The fat content in whole milk powder causes rancidity over time. Also consider powdered buttermilk for baking applications and powdered cream for coffee. Having options prevents palate fatigue. 12. Salt, the ancient preserver. Salt represents far more than seasoning. It's been utilized across centuries as among the most dependable food preservation instruments. Here's the crucial point: it never decomposes. Whether you possess table salt, sea salt, or Himalayan variations, they all maintain infinite preservation capacity provided they remain moisture-free. Beyond enhancing food palatability, salt proves essential for meat curing, fish preservation, vegetable fermentation, and brine creation. Therefore, it not only elevates flavor, but also functions as a vital survival instrument for food preservation. You'll additionally require it for hydration, muscular function, and nerve transmission. Your physiology cannot survive without it. If you plan surviving off grain and legume combinations, good luck without it. Professional guidance: select plain salt. Avoid iodized mixtures, as additives can deteriorate more rapidly. Maintain dry conditions, store in substantial quantities, and you've secured an eternal seasoning supply. Don't overlook specialty salts either. Pickling salt contains no anti-caking agents, making it perfect for fermentation. Curing salt, pink salt, contains nitrites for safe meat preservation. Stock multiple varieties for different preservation methods. Salt also serves for cleaning, ice melting, and even fire extinguishing in emergencies. 12. Instant coffee. Sanity in a jar. It may not constitute survival necessity, but during crises, instant coffee becomes your most valuable ally. While it won't capture barista competitions, a caffeine cup amidst chaos can preserve your mental stability. Preserved properly, it remains viable for 20-plus years with zero potency loss. Vacuum-sealed and freeze-dried instant coffee essentially achieves immortality. It requires no refrigeration, grinding, or sophisticated brewing equipment. Simply add heated water, stir, and you've obtained alertness, warmth, and a small portion of normalcy even when circumstances aren't. It's additionally lightweight and storage efficient, making it perfect for emergency bags, camping equipment, and long-duration stockpiles. As a bonus, coffee provides mild appetite suppression effects, helping stretch food provisions during emergencies. Therefore, whether maintaining sharpness, maintaining sanity, or simply enjoying a calm moment, instant coffee earns top 20 placement. Consider the psychological impact. Familiar rituals provide comfort during chaos.
That morning coffee represents normalcy and routine when everything else feels uncertain. Stock various strengths and flavors, regular, decaf, flavored varieties, to maintain morale over extended periods. Coffee also has practical survival applications. Grounds work as deodorizers, pest deterrents, and even garden fertilizer. The caffeine provides performance enhancement during physically demanding situations. Don't underestimate coffee's tactical value. Number 11. Canned meats. Protein powerhouses in every can. When considering stockpiling for extended durations, canned meats deserve top priority placement. Whether it's processed luncheon meat, tuna, chicken, or even sardines, these protein-concentrated essentials can survive years in your pantry, completely sealed and consumption-ready. The key to their extended viability lies in vacuum sealing processes and canning methodology, ensuring sterilization and protection from bacterial contamination and decomposition. Beyond that, canned meats provide caloric density, establishing them as essential survival provisions when circumstances deteriorate. Need something rapid to incorporate into stir-fries or salads? Canned chicken or tuna provides the solution. However, there's more beyond convenience. During crisis periods, whether power failures, food shortages, or any catastrophe, canned meats supply dependable protein sources, which become challenging to obtain when fresh food becomes scarce. Even if you're not particularly fond of texture or flavor, canned meats maintain life and nourishment. For those enjoying additional flavor, they can be enhanced with seasonings or added to substantial stews, pasta preparations, and even breakfast scrambles. Canned meats remain consumable anywhere from 5 to 10 years when stored in temperature-controlled, humidity-free locations, and they won't occupy excessive pantry space either. When civilization collapses, having several protein containers available could make all the difference. Variety matters. Tuna and salmon provide omega-3 fatty acids, sardines offer calcium from edible bones, chicken provides lean protein, and yes, even Spam has its place. High calories, long shelf life, and versatile enough for numerous recipes. Don't judge until you've fried Spam with eggs during a power outage. Number 10. Oats. The humble nutrition champion. Oats may appear basic, even monotonous, but don't let their modest appearance deceive you. These tiny grains actually represent a preparedness enthusiast's ideal provision. Not only are oats inexpensive, but when preserved correctly in airtight containers, in temperature-controlled, humidity-free locations, they remain viable for 30 years or beyond. Correct, decades of preservation capacity without refrigeration requirements. Whether you're seeking substantial breakfast to commence the day or require simple, calorie-concentrated meals to maintain function during challenging periods, oats offer versatile, long-lasting options you can depend on. Packed with dietary fiber, iron content, and complex carbohydrate structures, oats provide excellent energy and nutrition sources. They transform into comforting breakfast porridge, baked preparations like granola bars, or even additions to soups, stews, and baked goods. Oats additionally serve as excellent bases for incorporating other ingredients, whether dried fruits, nuts, honey, or spices like cinnamon. they absorb flavors remarkably well. Additionally, they're lightweight, storage efficient, and don't require refrigeration. Beyond breakfast, oats can be ground into flour, used as breadcrumb substitutes, added to meatloaf or veggie burgers for binding, and even used as facial masks or soothing baths. Their utility extends far beyond porridge. Steel-cut oats offer the longest shelf life and best texture, while rolled oats cook faster. Stock both varieties. Number 9. Sugar. Sweet preservation power. It may appear luxurious, but during crises, sugar represents a vital component of your survival stockpile, and it's considerably more than sweetener for beverages. When properly preserved, sugar remains viable indefinitely. It doesn't spoil, deteriorate, or lose flavor over time, making it a perfect candidate for long-duration storage. While sugar may not appear essential in survival scenarios, its versatility and capacity to preserve other provisions make it a prepper's most valuable asset. Sugar functions as a natural preservation agent. It's been utilized across centuries to preserve fruits, vegetables, and even meats. During food scarcity periods, sugar becomes a lifeline for extending food longevity. Whether transforming fruit into preserves, creating syrup, or simply incorporating it into meals for additional energy, sugar provides multiple applications. Additionally, a small amount of sweetness significantly impacts morale elevation when everything else tastes bland and uninspiring.
During crises, your physiology's energy requirements will be elevated, and sugar provides instant caloric bursts. It can additionally be utilized to prepare various energy-concentrated treats, from baked goods to energy bars. Maintaining sugar availability isn't merely about improving taste. It's a practical survival instrument that helps preserve provisions, fuel your physiology, and even lift spirits when times are challenging. Storage types matter. White granulated sugar offers the longest shelf life. Brown sugar requires more careful storage due to moisture content, and powdered sugar should be stored with precautions against clumping. Stock all varieties for different applications: regular sugar for preserving, brown for flavoring, and powdered for frosting and quick dissolving needs. 8. Cooking oils and ghee. Essential fats for survival cuisine. If there's one thing every survivalist understands, it's that you cannot create substantial, comforting meals without some cooking fat. Whether it's vegetable oil, olive oil, or ghee, these fats represent fundamental components of any comprehensive prepper pantry. Not only do they facilitate delicious meal creation, but they're also vital for nutrition, as fats prove essential for your physiology's energy and function. Here's the crucial point. Oils and ghee possess incredible preservation capacities. When maintained in temperature-controlled, dark locations, oil remains viable for 2 to 3 years, while ghee extends even longer due to its minimal moisture content and elevated stability. Ghee proves especially valuable because of its extended preservation compared to regular butter and can be utilized for high-temperature cooking without breaking down. This makes it perfect for frying, sautéing, or even baking. Conversely, oils like olive varieties are perfect for making dressings, additions to soups, or simply drizzling over vegetables or grains. Cooking oils not only enhance meal flavor, but also add crucial caloric content to your diet. Fat diversity matters. Coconut oil offers antimicrobial properties and long shelf life. Olive oil provides heart-healthy benefits. Vegetable oil offers neutral flavor for various uses, and ghee brings that rich, buttery taste without refrigeration needs. Stock multiple varieties. Each serves different culinary purposes and provides nutritional variety. Remember, fats provide more than twice the calories per gram compared to carbohydrates or protein. In survival situations where physical demands increase and food supplies decrease, this caloric density becomes invaluable. Don't skimp on fat storage. 7. Freeze-dried and canned fruits. Sweetness that lasts decades. When fresh fruit becomes luxury, freeze-dried fruits or canned fruits provide your backup strategy.
offering sweet and refreshing alternatives when fresh options aren't available. The optimal aspect: freeze-dried fruits remain viable for up to 25 years, retaining most flavor and nutritional content. Unlike fresh fruit, which can deteriorate within days, freeze-dried fruits like apples, strawberries, and blueberries can sit in your pantry for decades, providing tasty and nutritious snacks whenever needed. Canned fruits, while not quite as long-lasting, still remain viable 3 to 5 years and provide excellent vitamin sources and natural sugars during necessity periods. Freeze-dried technology preserves up to 97% of nutrients while removing 98% of water content. This creates incredibly lightweight, long-lasting food that rehydrates quickly. Stock variety: berries for antioxidants, tropical fruits for vitamin C, and apples for fiber. During extended emergencies, these provide essential micronutrients that might otherwise be missing from grain and bean-heavy diets. Consider both snacking and cooking applications. Freeze-dried fruits rehydrate in hot cereals, baked goods, and even savory dishes. Canned fruits provide ready-to-eat convenience and valuable fruit syrup that adds sweetness and calories to other foods. 6. Bouillon cubes. Flavor salvation in tiny packages. In survival circumstances, flavor might seem least important, but with bouillon cubes, it doesn't need to be. These tiny cubes or granules pack rich, concentrated flavor that can transform any bland meal into something more exciting. When you're surviving off rice, beans, or canned vegetables, bouillon cubes become game changers, providing flavor depth that's sorely lacking in basic survival meals.
Bouillon cubes remain viable 5 to 10 years and often longer depending on storage conditions. They're lightweight, compact, and storage efficient, making them perfect for any emergency kit or evacuation bag. Therefore, don't overlook this small but mighty pantry staple. When your taste buds crave something beyond bland survival food, bouillon cubes will provide rescue. Flavor psychology matters more than people realize. During stressful situations, familiar tastes provide comfort and normalcy. A properly seasoned soup feels more like real food than boiled grains and water. This psychological boost improves morale and eating compliance. People consume more of what tastes better, ensuring adequate nutrition. Stock multiple flavors: chicken, beef, and vegetable bouillon each serve different purposes. Chicken works universally, beef enhances heartier dishes, and vegetable provides options for those with dietary restrictions. Better than bouillon paste varieties offer superior flavor and slightly longer shelf life than traditional cubes. Beyond soups and stews, bouillon enhances rice, seasons vegetables, creates gravy, and even improves canned meats. A tiny cube transforms a pot of plain rice into something actually appealing. Don't underestimate these flavor powerhouses. 5. MREs, meals ready to eat. Military-grade convenience. Meals ready to eat represent the ultimate solution when you need complete, nutritious meals that are ready immediately. No cooking required. Originally developed for military applications, MREs have proven among the most practical, convenient, and long-lasting survival provisions available. These meals are fully sealed, self-contained pouches including everything needed to eat: main courses, snacks, condiments, and even dessert. When preserved properly, MREs remain viable 5 to 10 years, sometimes longer, and they're an easy method to ensure complete, balanced meals during emergencies. Not only are MREs storage efficient, but they're incredibly lightweight, making them perfect for evacuation bags, camping trips, or any situation requiring portable, shelf-stable meals. Each MRE provides approximately 1,200 calories, enough to sustain an adult for substantial portions of the day. They require no preparation, no refrigeration, and include flameless heaters that warm meals using chemical reactions. No fire or electricity needed. This makes them ideal for situations where cooking becomes impossible. Quality varies significantly between manufacturers and military versus civilian versions. Military MREs offer better quality control but higher cost. Civilian alternatives provide decent nutrition at lower prices. Inspect packaging carefully. Any punctures or damage compromises shelf life. Store in climate-controlled environments away from extreme temperatures. Variety prevents palate fatigue. MREs come in dozens of menu options from spaghetti to chicken curry.
Rotate through different meals to maintain morale. The psychological benefit of hot, familiar food during crises cannot be overstated. 4. Wheat berries, the grain that outlives generations. Wheat berries might not look remarkable. They're literally just whole, unprocessed wheat kernels, but don't let their humble appearance deceive you. These tiny grains represent the ultimate survival multi-tool. They can be preserved for 30 years or beyond when maintained in airtight containers and temperature-controlled places. Here's the genuine advantage. Unlike flour, they don't become rancid or lose nutrients nearly as rapidly. That means you can store them for decades and grind them into fresh flour only when needed. Want to bake bread from scratch? Done. Grind your berries. Need substantial porridge? Soak and simmer. Craving something chewy and healthy? Incorporate cooked wheat berries into salads. The versatility extends further. Wheat berries sprout easily, creating fresh greens within days. Sprouted wheat offers enhanced nutrition and digestibility. They can be popped like popcorn for crunchy snacks, or ground partially for cracked wheat cereal. This single stored item provides multiple food forms. Wheat berries require grinding capability. Manual grain mills work without electricity and last generations. Electric mills process faster but become useless during power failures. Stock both if possible, prioritizing manual options for true emergency preparedness. Hard red wheat offers highest protein content, ideal for bread. Soft white wheat provides milder flavor, better for pastries. Hard white wheat splits the difference. Store variety based on intended uses. Each type maintains 30+ year shelf life under proper conditions. 3. Hardtack, the indestructible survival biscuit. If bread had a weather-gold military veteran cousin, it would be hardtack. This legendary survival biscuit has been feeding sailors, soldiers, and explorers since before modern utensils were invented.
And it remains available today for one reason: it simply won't deteriorate. Made from just flour and water, hardtack can remain viable for centuries when preserved properly. Now, don't expect it to taste like grandmother's homemade rolls. It's more like consuming a brick made of flour. However, in survival circumstances, when you're depleted of everything else, hardtack represents the cockroach of the food realm. Still standing, still edible, still here to preserve your survival. Historical documentation proves hardtack's remarkable longevity. Civil War-era hardtack has been found perfectly edible over 150 years later. Antarctic expeditions relied on it for years-long journeys. It's been consumed on ocean voyages, wartime trenches, and frontier homesteads. If humans faced hardship, hardtack was there. Making hardtack is remarkably simple: flour, water, salt, baked until completely moisture-free. The difficulty isn't creation, it's consumption. Hardtack earns its nickname tooth dollars and sheet iron crackers. Soak it in coffee, soup, or water to make it chewable. Crumble it into stews for thickness. Fry it in bacon grease for slightly improved palatability. Why include something so unappetizing? Because when everything else is gone, hardtack remains. It survives floods that destroy canned goods, temperature extremes that ruin chocolate, and time periods that spoil nearly everything else. It's insurance against absolute worst-case scenarios. 2. Pemmican, the original survival superfood. Long before protein bars and MREs existed, indigenous peoples in North America survived off pemmican, the ultimate survival superfood. Made from dried meat, rendered fat, and sometimes dried berries, pemmican represents the trifecta of nutrition: protein, fat, and carbohydrates all in one compact, calorie-dense block. And it wasn't merely for snacking. Explorers, trappers, and warriors thrived on this substance during long journeys where food proved scarce. Best aspect? Properly stored pemmican remains viable decades without refrigeration. It's like the original Power Bar, minus fancy packaging and added sugar. Whether you're trekking through wilderness or simply want reliable backup in your emergency stash, pemmican offers timeless choice. It's simple, efficient, and time-tested, and it'll maintain survival when circumstances deteriorate. Traditional pemmican preparation requires skill. Meat must be dried completely, fat rendered properly, and ratios balanced correctly. Too much fat causes rancidity. Too little creates dry, unpalatable results. When made correctly, pemmican provides complete nutrition,
all essential amino acids, sufficient calories, and remarkable energy density. Modern pemmican variations include honey, maple syrup, or additional dried fruits for improved flavor. Some recipes incorporate nuts or seeds for variety. Regardless of variations, the fundamental concept remains: concentrated nutrition in shelf-stable form. Pemmican represents more than emergency food. Its cultural heritage and survival wisdom passed through generations. Indigenous peoples perfected this food across centuries of harsh climate survival. Respecting and understanding that heritage adds depth to preparedness planning.
Traditional pemmican preparation requires skill. Meat must be dried completely, fat rendered properly, and ratios balanced correctly. Too much fat causes rancidity. Too little creates dry, unpalatable results. When made correctly, pemmican provides complete nutrition, all essential amino acids, sufficient calories, and remarkable energy density. Modern pemmican variations include honey, maple syrup, or additional dried fruits for improved flavor. Some recipes incorporate nuts or seeds for variety. Regardless of variations, the fundamental concept remains: concentrated nutrition in shelf-stable form. Pemmican represents more than emergency food. Its cultural heritage and survival wisdom passed through generations. Indigenous peoples perfected this food across centuries of harsh climate survival. Respecting and understanding that heritage adds depth to preparedness planning. Number 1. Peanut butter, the undisputed champion. All right, we've finally reached the top of the survival food pyramid. The MVP, the absolute champion. And no, it's not some ancient grain or futuristic freeze-dried meal from science fiction. It's good old peanut butter. Why? Simple. It checks every single requirement. Peanut butter provides caloric density, protein concentration, healthy fats, and essential nutrient richness like magnesium, vitamin E, and niacin. Just 2 tablespoons deliver nearly 200 calories of delicious, shelf-stable energy. In survival scenarios, that's enormous. But here's what genuinely seals the arrangement. It doesn't need refrigeration. It remains viable for years unopened. It's ready to eat straight from the container. And most importantly, it tastes amazing. In emergencies, morale matters. And a spoonful of peanut butter when you're stressed, cold, and tired, that's not just a snack. That's psychological therapy. It can be spread on crackers, stirred into oats, mixed with powdered milk, or, let's be honest, eaten right off the spoon like a desperate raccoon in the pantry. And it somehow never gets old. Crunchy or creamy, natural or classic, it doesn't matter. As long as it's sealed tight and stored cool and dry, peanut butter will always be there for you. Beyond pure consumption, peanut butter offers remarkable versatility. Mix it with honey for energy bars, blend with powdered milk for protein shakes, combine with oats for no-bake cookies. It provides protein for muscle maintenance, fats for sustained energy, and enough calories to keep you functioning during physically demanding situations.
Peanut butter allergies represent the only significant limitation. For those affected, alternatives like sunflower seed butter, almond butter, or soy nut butter provide similar benefits with comparable shelf life. Stock alternatives if feeding groups. Someone will inevitably have allergies. Storage recommendations. Natural peanut butter, just peanuts and salt, offers cleanest nutrition but requires stirring and slightly shorter shelf life. Stabilized varieties, with added oils, last longer and require zero preparation. Stock both, natural for nutrition-conscious daily use, stabilized for true long-term emergency storage. The psychological impact cannot be overstated. Peanut butter tastes like normalcy, like childhood, like comfort. During crises, when everything feels uncertain and frightening, that familiar taste provides emotional anchor. It reminds you that good things still exist, that pleasure isn't gone forever, that life continues beyond current hardship. So there you have it, 20 survival foods that don't just last decades, but actually make sense to have available.
Some are practical, some are ancient, some are basically edible bricks. But every single one has earned placement on this list because when things go sideways, they'll help keep you fed, fueled, and maybe even smiling. No refrigerator? No problem. No electricity? You're still eating. Now go forth and stock up like a true survivalist legend. Remember, survival food storage isn't about paranoia, it's about preparedness. Natural disasters happen, economic disruptions occur, supply chains break down. Having these foods stored doesn't make you crazy, it makes you responsible. Start small if needed. You don't need to buy everything immediately. Purchase extra items during each shopping trip. Build your stockpile gradually, rotating through items to ensure nothing exceeds reasonable storage times, even for long-lasting foods. Label everything with purchase dates. Create inventory lists. Organize storage logically. Frequently used items accessible, long-term storage items secure. Check storage areas quarterly for temperature control, moisture problems, and pest activity. Most importantly, actually use these foods. Practice cooking with them now during calm times so you're familiar and confident during emergencies. Test recipes, learn preparation methods, discover what your family actually enjoys eating. The best survival food is food you'll actually consume. Preparedness isn't about fear, it's about freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom from last-minute panic, freedom to face uncertainty with confidence. These 20 foods provide that foundation. Now you're equipped with knowledge. Time to take action. Build that pantry, stock that storage, prepare that plan. Your future self will thank you.